But I mean,
Well, tell me a little bit about yourself. Just.
Oh, you're gonna interview the interviewer now?
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Like,
right.
I need to relate to something so I can be
here we go.
comfortable with you.
Why don't you squeeze on in a little closer to that microphone there?
Okay.
So a little bit about me, just to kind of calm your nerves a little bit, amigo, is I was actually born in North Carolina. Okay, as you can tell, I'm shockingly Caucasian. But when I was about 10 years old, my family moved to Laredo. And so I lived in Laredo, Texas for about 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Right? And this is back when there were like maybe 4 white people living there total, you know what I mean? And I was my dad had a warehouse in Mexico, and then either after school or on the weekends or during summer, I would go work in the warehouse in Mexico because my dad was adamant that I was going to learn Spanish. And I was adamant that I wasn't, right? So with my dad, he told the people at the warehouse, hey, you're not to speak to my son in English, even though they spoke English. And so, long story short, man, by the end of a summer, and again, I wasn't completely fluent, but I knew enough. Man, I knew all the bad words, bro. I knew, man, I could invent bad words in Spanish. But, it was like it went from being afraid, right, because I'm technically in another country, to, dude, I'm running around, I'm eating street tacos, I'm like, oye, güey, cálmate, vato, y mira, guacha. And before you knew it, man, I was like the white Eminem before Eminem was around, you know what I mean? Para los Latinos. So I always tell people, man, I'm white by birth, but I'm Mexican at heart. Like, de veras. Because when you really break down the culture down here with the Hispanics and the family and the love and all that stuff, it's truly special. And I'm not taking anything away. I have a great family in North Carolina and Ohio. But I don't know. Maybe it's because I grew up in it, but I really resonate with the culture down here. You know what I mean? So yeah, people tell me I'm the whitest Mexican they know. So
you're nice, man. Nice meeting you.
Oh yeah, dude. Hey, so guess what, everybody? This is another episode of the Big Beat Podcast, and I just gave you 2 minutes of my background. But I'm sitting here with a new friend of mine down here in the beautiful McAllen, Texas, Mr. Mario Baez. Baez, right? Is that
yes, sir? Baez.
So Mario, you are the owner / broker.
I'm actually the owner.
You're the owner.
Yes, sir.
Of
BorderPlex Realty.
BorderPlex Real Estate in McAllen, Texas.
Yes, sir. Now powered by EXP. So we're expanding all over the nation.
Woo, baby! I know EXP, man. That's a good partnership,
yes,
bro.
Yes,
congratulations. How long ago did that happen?
Just starting this year, 2018. That was something new. It's something we wanted to do. Very good tools, a lot of new ideas, a lot of technology. That's what we were looking for as far as a Valley company.
Right, and it brings a lot of support to you and your agents, I
yes,
assume,
sir.
right?
Yes,
having kind of that parent company mentality.
Yes, sir.
Because I know, like, up in Austin, I always hear there's a lot of fee transaction brokerages, and I know that works for some people, but the reality of it is you're an army of one.
Yes, sir.
Right? Like, you may be paying a small amount to the quote-unquote broker of record, but you're not getting jack in return in most cases.
It's true. It's true. Here, what they offer is 80-20 off the top.
Right.
80-20. I mean, that's the top producer commission rate here in the Valley.
So the producer gets 80%?
80%.
That's good.
Agent, man. That's very strong. Good. I mean, it's very strong. And also you get to cap at $16,000. So if you give the company $16,000, you get to do transaction fees of $250 per transaction.
So you still get the benefit of paying the lower fees, provided you're out there hustling and doing your thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's really strong.
And all these as far as the marketing tools that give you the conversion, all these systems so you can create leads for you and market yourself. It's great, man. Also, what I love about the company, they're paperless. Everything's
really?
Yes, sir. I mean, and for being in the Valley, a lot of people will sometimes stay behind on all this technology.
Sure.
But now, I mean, with this systems that they have, it's great, man. Paperless transactions. You get to check your transactions on the phone, your laptop, keep track of your sales, what's spending, what's not. So basically, you keep control of your business in an app.
Yeah. We have something similar. We're not using conversion, but we partnered with a company to create. Have you heard of the Rocket Mortgage?
Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
So we created our little rendition of it, not to copyright infringe on the Rocket Loan. Ours is still different, but it's called the Easy app, right? And so literally, like, you work with Nancy, right? So Nancy's application is an app on the phone.
Nice.
So she can just text it out, and her borrowers can actually apply from their iPhones, Androids, iPads. Like, you don't have to be in front of a computer, right? And dude, it is so great because with our Easy app, it'll create reminders for the clients. It'll let them upload documents, the whole 9 yards. Probably got the same thing going with you, right?
Yes, sir.
Isn't that awesome, though?
Yeah, it's just quick. I mean, they get to see whatever they're looking for. They send us a message, a text. We contact them within 5 to 10 minutes. We're out there calling them, trying to show them a house or whatever they need.
Well, yeah, because you guys are like one of the big dogs running around the park around here, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
What did you tell me you guys are now?
Right now, we finished the year. Everybody has a restart, right? In 2018.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we finished the year top 2 as far as the value market share. Yes, sir.
Dude, congratulations,
you're
man.
welcome. Everything, all the team, hard work, dedication, very good customer service. Everybody's very happy in our team, man. So we reached that goal. We're just behind a big competitor. And for not being a franchise, it's a big accomplishment.
Right.
You know what I mean? For not being a franchise, being number 2 in the valley is very
That's awesome. I mean, and the one word I keep hearing out of your mouth is team.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
I love my team. People there, it's like my family.
How many? Really?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's very hard to get that type of atmosphere in real estate, but everybody knows each other by name. We always try to share ideas. We have a very work group. Everybody's very nice. What we try to have good service, man. That's what that's our culture. Good service, and we do our best for that because I know we give quality service. People are usually going to come back and they're going to refer us.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, and the cool part is I think that lends to the organic style growth versus having to spend massive amounts of money on marketing and stuff like that. Do you guys do a lot of marketing?
We do still a lot of marketing, but that's to reach out to people, to new buyers, new sellers. I mean, that's what you want to do. But after you get them, it's like everybody else probably gets the same buyer, but they're going to stay because of your service and how you are as a person.
Right.
Your quality of a person, because it's not just, you can be service too, but they have to like you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the number one thing. They have to like you. Yeah. If they don't like you, they're going to just walk away. So basically, the way we do it is we make them our friends, man. I mean, you
develop a relationship.
Yes, sir.
Right? I mean, and that's the word, like, honestly, if you go back and listen to any of my podcasts, as it relates to sales, it all starts with the relationship. If you're not building relationships, forget it. You're toast. The day of the sales pitch, the flashy, fancy, like, oh, check out. Like, for us, we're lenders, right? Oh, check us out. We got great rates. And so what? I can get a great rate anywhere.
Yes.
How am I going to get service?
Yes.
How am I going to know that you're looking out for me?
Yes.
And it's that relationship.
They got to feel comfortable. They have to like you. And you have to be knowledgeable on what you're doing. Because if you're not knowledgeable, like I said, you're not going to do a good service.
Exactly.
You have to be knowledgeable. You have to be there too when they need you. Because sometimes it's not what you want, it's what the client wants.
Exactly. That's awesome. How long have you been in real estate, Mario?
I started since, remember, I was a bookkeeper. So I started since 1999, man. I became a bookkeeper. I was with BorderPlex since 1999. We became Cobo Banker, a big franchise, in 2005.
Really?
Yeah, I managed because I became a salesperson, a sales manager, and I managed them for about 6-7 years. For some reason, the owners of Cobo Banker, they decided to sell the company, and I saw an opportunity, and I decided to purchase it from them. So, I mean, it was a difficult task to start all over again as an owner.
Were you an Army of One back then?
No, a lot of people did stay. They did kind of, like, again, man, they kind of like me.
Sure.
So a lot of them did stay. They trusted me. And since then, a lot of the people that we have, they've been with me for about 10 to 15 years. A lot of new agents that I work with, been there, like, I trained since day one. They've been with me for about 5 years, their entire careers. So I don't have that much of agents leaving the company or anything like that. They usually stay with us. We're very I guess, stable in that aspect.
Right.
Why? Because we try to treat our people with respect, number one. Sure. And number two, our agents, we love our agents, man. I mean, they're the ones that do the work for us, the dirty work. So they're out there working. So we kind of always give them that. We always try to reward them with either parties, awards, and always try to have those little incentives so they can stay with us.
Create the love and value, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, okay, give me the date again that you started working as a bookkeeper.
99. Well, actually, no. I said bookkeeper, not a bookkeeper.
Yeah,
I was a bookkeeper, man. 99.
99?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
20 years? Almost 20 years?
Yes, sir. I'm 37 right now.
Dude! Wow, so you were a baby in this industry,
yes,
man.
Sir. So I started from the bottom, like they say, from the bottom up.
One step up from sweeping floors almost, man.
Yes,
you were just cooking the numbers, bro. Wow, that is awesome.
Yes, sir.
You know what? But here's what's even more awesome, and I want you to talk about this a little bit. You were telling me before I hit record, you're not from the Valley.
No, sir, I'm not.
Where are you from?
I'm from Mexico.
Really?
Culiacán, Mexico. Yes, sir.
Wow. How old were you when you moved over to the States?
I was like about 14 years old. 14.
Really?
Yeah, culture crash. Even though everybody here is very Hispanic and speaks Spanish, but it's still different. Very different. It was, had all my friends over there, a lot of family over there. So when I came over here, it's just learning experience, adapting to people and their ideas. And I really love it, to be honest. Very good opportunities. I finished, like I said, my high school here, finished college. I went to UTPA, Pan American back then.
Right.
Finished a degree in accounting, and I started to work. And like I said, man, I'm a very loyal person, so I stayed with the company for so long already.
Oh, yeah.
So many changes, and now I became the owner. So
that is amazing, though, man, because, I mean, it's like, so obviously you went to work for this company straight out of college.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
actually, I was going to college, working, and finishing college. Yes, sir.
At what point, I mean, so how long were you a bookkeeper for them?
For about 6 years, man.
So you did 6 years as the bookkeeper, and then did you become an agent? Or?
After that, I had a lot of, I guess they saw the leadership skills that I had.
Yeah.
And people started promoting me little by little.
Yes, sir.
And you know, as far as the economy back then, they were cutting jobs.
Oh, yeah.
So they wanted me to replace this person without no pay. You know, I was a bookkeeper / then manager and then sales manager, and because they saw, oh, well, this guy's young, he has good leadership skills, he likes to get people together, he shares good ideas, he has innovative ideas. So basically, they saw that opportunity, and they kind of kept me around. They fired a lot of people, and they kind of kept me around.
But they kept you.
Yes, sir.
You were the lucky one.
Yeah. They kept me with the same salary, yes, sir. But, yeah, I loved it. Like I say, it was a very good learning experience. I really, really, really met a lot of very good people. I had very good mentors. I had real estate agents there that were there, like founders of the BorderPlex, and they were there for about 15 years before me. So a lot of those people taught me a lot of things, taught me how to be loyal, taught me how to repeat business. And that's what a lot of agents forget, that they're one-time transaction agents.
Yeah.
And they taught me the old way that you have to make sure that when you close, you still keep around, follow up with them, see how they're doing, send a birthday card, something to keep.
So you were doing all that before it was like trendy.
Yes, sir.
Right? Because now, dude, it's like everybody that comes in is kind of like a plug and play situation, right?
Yes,
the computer does everything. Yes. But like I remember the handwritten notes, right?
Yes, sir. The mail-outs, I had to mail out like 200 letters.
Did you guys have the fancy post machine?
The
too?
Post machine.
Yes,
sir.
dude.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes,
that
sir.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Not that I ever used that to mail off my bills. No, I would never do that. But yeah, no, I remember we had that one, like to where it was like a scanner or something, and then we had like a thing that it would weigh stuff, and yeah, oh my God, the good old days. Now everything's digital.
Yes, sir. Facebook helps a lot too.
But you know, I think there's something to be said for the old way still, because I've got a guy, and I talked about this yesterday on another interview. I got a guy in Austin, Texas who still handwrites. He still does thank you cards, handwritten, right? Because I think we're at that point now. It's kind of like, I don't know if you remember back when CDs came out. Yes. They were talking about it's the death of vinyl. Yes. And now look at it, like vinyl's made like this retro cool comeback. Yes. And now it's even more freaking expensive than it was back then. But I think, going to that, I think there's a lot to be said for the personal attention it takes to just write a few words versus typing them on the computer, or, you know what I mean? Would you agree with that? What do you think?
I think so, man. It's more personalized. I mean, people now, I think we lost the personalized touch that the agents had back then. Yeah. People used to know their clients by name, by last name, and now everything's in your computers. Yeah. And it's automated. So you kind of lost that touch, that personalized touch. And I think when you're more personal, now people see it because people are not doing it anymore. Yeah. Because we're too busy in our lives. So now when you're more personal, people like that,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When you refer to them by name and not by address, I need to talk to you about 127 Main. Like, what? Who's that?
It's true. Yeah.
Somebody has that name? Like, no, that's the address. Yeah, sí, bro, but tienes un nombre, bro. Cálmate. So you did the bookkeeping thing for 6 years. What? Now, when you crossed over to the sales side, okay, obviously you didn't go through a bunch of company changes. Hell, it doesn't sound like you ever did. You've been the same thing for a long time, which speaks volumes. I mean, you don't see that kind of tenure, right, with one company very often. When did you get the bug for sales? When did you get the desire to start selling versus staying in the safe salary? You know what I mean? Because, like, I'm sure at that point, like, you had already kind of been accustomed to, okay, I know this is what I'm making this week or whatever. At what point did the spark happen for you to go into sales?
Well, since I was a little boy, I was always into sales. I used to sell pencils to my little friends, candies, whatever it was, man. But really? My parents were always involved as far as businesses. Well, we always had like taquerias, we had card lots, we had businesses like that, customer service type of businesses.
So your family, your parents were entrepreneurs, then?
Yes, sir. So I was always involved, trying to help. Typical Mexican family, man. Everybody helps, right?
Absolutely. Dude, I'm Mexican by heart, but my dad had the same philosophy. If you're here, you're gonna work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You go to school. That was my parents' priority. Go to school. And learn about God, man. I mean, as far as that, that's what helped me too. But as far as work, I always have to work. I had to get up early, help my parents. We have to go and buy produce for the taquerias, right. all these meats and stuff like that, help them out. Clean the stores and the cars, man. I used to wash like about 40 cars. Sometimes when the guy didn't go, I had to help him out. And we used to have big car lots. So I had always that little thing, but I always wanted to have a secure check. Sure. And I wanted to always make my mom proud about going to school. Mm-hmm. She wanted me to be an accountant. So I did kind of want to do that. I have a degree, like I said, management too. So, but I always had a little thing. And I think when people tell you, you know what, Mario, we're going to be closing our office maybe in a year, it's kind of where I started thinking, you know what, this has been my baby. I've been here forever. And I started thinking, well, how can I salvage this company? Because we were not closing because it was a bad financial situation. It was just that the owners were wanting to retire. They were more like, you know what? I don't need this anymore. Right. I want to retire. Want to cash out. That was a word, cash out.
Gotcha.
And for me, it's like, well, this is my living.
I don't want to cash out.
So basically, from that point on is where I started. You know what? I'm gonna get my license. I'm gonna get my license. So I got my license. I activated my license. After that, I coach a lot of things, man. I was always in sales. Like I said, push my workforce, my team. And then I became part of the team. And my first year, I sold about 72 transactions, man.
Your first year?
Yes, sir. I listed over 100 properties, and I sold 72 transactions my first year, man.
That's incredible.
And then after that, I've been keeping it out there. That's my kind of average of 100 properties per year. That's more or less what I sell.
For listing or buy side?
And actually selling. Closing deals, man. Closed deals.
Okay, well, you're selling, you yourself are trying to sell 100 a year.
Yes, sir.
Dang.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I list
Do
average.
You sleep? Eres vampiro, okay, bro.
No, but I kind of, my wife and my family does help me out a little bit as far as their understanding. They know that I have to work for my clients. If I pick up a listing, they know I have to be responsible enough to market that listing, try to sell that listing. Mm-hmm. When I have a client, buyer, I have a very good team with mortgages like yourself, with movement. Everybody takes care of my clients. So I have a good team that helps my clients too. But my family is very understanding as far as time.
Right.
So they usually, we have a night out during the week, and then we have a Sunday for them. And then I have 2 people that help me with my phone and assist in some paperwork. But yeah, man, like I said, as far as being an owner, it's a big responsibility.
Sure.
My team first, always. Mm-hmm. I'm always available for them, try to help them out in whatever they can. But then I do my sales on the side. So on the side, it means 100 transactions a year. And if I don't do that, I do kind of feel like I didn't have a productive year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But that's an awesome.
But I never see it that way. The way I see it is how many people are going to be helping. And that's the thing, man. To be honest,
there's the nugget, everyone.
And I always try to see who I'm gonna help today, man. That's my drive. That's my motivation.
So you're truly leading from heart.
Yeah, because I'm not about the money. To be honest, if you go, money's good. It buys whatever you need.
Oh, dude.
Right?
Yeah.
But basically, it's mainly like who can I help? I work from $30,000 deals to $2 million deals, and I treat the people the same. I was there. I'm available. You call me. I'm there to help in any way, any question that you might have. And I treat everybody the same because, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's your investment. It's your personal life that you're investing in the house. That's a big accomplishment for a lot of us, especially Hispanics.
Right.
That's one of the things that we always have that thing that, you know what, I want to have a family, and then I want to have my house.
Yeah.
Or I want to have this business after that.
Yeah.
And I want to be there for you. I want to be there, and my team knows that, and we want to be there for them too.
Well, and the beautiful thing too, I'm not sure, you got kids, right?
Yes, sir.
How many children?
3.
Are you? 3? Oh,
yes, sir.
También. How old are they?
The one is 12, 7, and 2.
See, so the beautiful thing about what you're doing and the way you're building your business here, I mean, you're leaving legacy, in my opinion. Have you ever thought of it that way? Are you like, as in, I'm building this for my family's future? Or?
I to be honest, I think about more like what's next, but I think more about leading my team to different way of thinking. That a lot of us were, I don't know how to say that word.
Spit it out.
We're just more like that type of personality where you're just satisfied for what you've done. A lot of people are just set, and I try to push people to more. And that's what I do. And I push myself to more, but I don't think too much ahead, because I don't know what my little daughter wants to do later.
I get what you're saying.
I see that she has that sales mentality.
Picking up
and
on
I feel it, and she loves it. And she goes with me, put signs. She likes to take pictures. And to be honest, she loves sales. She likes to talk a lot, man, a lot. Like a salesperson, but basically, I'm more into 2-3 years. My plans are usually 2-3 years. What's next?
I get you. Yeah.
And that's the thing that I always want to put more, a little bit more. If I can do 80, like that's what I did with my plan. I did 70. Oh, I want to do next year 80.
Right.
And next year I want to do 90. But I don't focus on the long term. I say, well, this month I want to do 6. Yeah. I want to help 6 people find their home or their property. Right. And I'll be out there for them. And that's what I focus on, man, and helping people out. People call me right now, a lot of construction, new construction.
Yes.
So a lot of lots. Hey, Mario, lots, if you do the math for a commission, it's not that much, man.
Right.
But I'm there to help them out the same way as I help everybody else.
Well, because, I mean, it's going to pay it forward.
Exactly.
You're going to either get a referral or they're going to, buy another house or investment or whatever. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, you create customers for life.
Yes.
Right?
And that was one of my mentors saying, create customers for life. Yeah. Not just finish with one transaction, you're over. No. And that's what a lot of times we do because of time. You want to move to the next. You want to create more money. Yeah. And sometimes you forget that person knows other people. And they can refer you to a family member, to a friend, to somebody else that they know that are buying a property or listing a property.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I know, because like for me, when I first got into mortgage, I cut my teeth in mortgage in Brownsville, Texas, right? Oh. And it was kind of one of those knee-jerk things to where I jumped in before I did any research. Like the broker made it sound so cool, I was just in, right? There's more to it, but anyway, I'll cut it short. My point is that when I found out everything that went into doing a mortgage loan, I quickly realized I was a little in over my head. And I had to really rethink my strategy because I was in new home sales prior. And in new home sales, dude, they come into the location, they view the model home. When you're working for a small brokerage, whether it's mortgage or real estate, you don't really have walk-in traffic. Like, you got to go out there and find a way. So I remember the only way I survived and then grew is I went out door to door. I was a door-to-door salesman for mortgage loans, soliciting for refinances in these neighborhoods. And the people that I would help, and this is something a lot of people forget to do, I would always ask for a referral. Hey, if I did good by you, send me 3 people, not 1, 3. So, if I do right by you, give me 3. Yes, right? Sir. And that's literally how I was able to build, my book of business back then. But it was guerrilla, grassroots, there was no pride in it. You know what I mean? Like, I was a door-to-door salesman, dude. And looking how I looked, the first thing people always thought is I was a Mormon, right? Like, are you coming to talk to me about God? No. I want to save you money. So anyway, dude, I think it's awesome what you're doing. I mean, the leading with love, creating customers for life, the fact that you started off, first off, you came over from Mexico. Mm-hmm. You grew up. You were always kind of working with your family who was entrepreneurial, which I'm sure rubbed off. And whether you like it or not, it's probably going to rub off on your kids. But you started at the bottom, man. Like, you're one of those true success stories that I'm always looking for. Now you're the number 2. You finished last year number 2 in your area. Right behind the big red beast. Yes, sir. Right? Which, I mean, that's a big red beast to try to break down. The fact that you came close, dude, speaks volumes. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just awesome what you're doing out there. What are your goals for 2019 either as a person or as an organization?
Keep growing. We want to make sure that we have more offices in the valley.
How many do you have now?
Right now we have 2. One in McAllen and one in Mission. The Sheridan area. So we want to grow a little bit more. We want to be in the Brownsville area, hopefully Arlington. But basically,
Brownsville's coming back.
Yeah.
We just opened an office, a small office down there, and that activity is.
Yeah, it's growing, man. It's gonna eventually become. It's growing. It's gonna be a good part of our business. That we were thinking about that. But basically, we want to get more agents to teach them the right way of doing business. We want to recruit more. I know some agents go into a business, like you said, small mortgages, small brokerages, like real estate, and sometimes they there for a year or 2, they quit. Yeah. I don't think that's the right way of doing things. No. I think as far as you need to go with a broker that has a plan for you. Somebody, if you don't have one, have somebody that has a plan at least for you. Right. That at least can help you at least the 2 to 3 months, the hardest months in a company, actually in sales. Right. That can provide leads for you, that can provide support for you, that provide information that you need to close deals. And that's what we're doing. A lot of my agents that come to my office, majority of now, they're brand new from school. And they are producing average about 24 to 32 transactions every year. And that's the average, national average, 12 to 16 transactions.
So you're taking totally new agents and you're getting those types of results?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And because I do focus and I put my energy on them, I want them to become like me. And that's usually a lot of work, and you want to work with motivation. Try to motivate them and try to make sure that they can do it, because sometimes when you fail or before in one thing, you kind of let down and you stop doing it. And here, I don't let you fail, man. I want to make sure you're successful. And everybody has different goals. Like I said, not everybody has the 100 transactions goal. Some people want to make this type of money. Some people want to make this type of transactions. From what we know in our office, a lot of us, we want to average about 30 deals a year for some people.
Sure.
Like I said, everybody has a different way of goals and thinking. But as far as the new agents, that's what I want to start working more, have more seminars, try to help them build their business. Because if I did it, I think everybody can do it, man.
Absolutely.
It's just wanting it, and having a good plan. Because even before when I started, I had a plan. I didn't start with buyers like everybody does.
Right.
I said, you know what? I want to put my name out there. I'm going to make sure I get listings, door to door, knocking on people. Hey, I want to help you sell your house. I never mentioned I was a new agent, but I always said, you know what, I have very good customer service skills. I can help you. Right. I can provide good service. I can communicate with you back and forth if there's an offer. I know what I'm doing. I've been a bookkeeper in this company for about 10 years. So
yeah, you already had cred.
Yeah. So that's what I want to coach people, and that's what I love, man. To be honest, I was thinking maybe in 5 to 10 years, I might want to just retire being a salesperson. I want to become a coach. I want to help people, motivate people to become top real estate agents in the area, man. I think I can do it. Yesterday, I was meeting with some of my agents, 1 year anniversary, and we were, and I mean, I was happy because some of them, they already reached their 25 transaction and more. They already closed 25. So for me, it's like for 1 year, if you've been in real estate for a while, it's very good numbers, very good numbers. And I was yesterday, we got together and we tried to motivate one person to join us. We said, look, man, this person's been a year. This is his production. This person's been with us a year and 2 months. And that person was like, wow, man, I was with this office for 2 years and I haven't done that. I just closed 2 or 3 deals in 2 years. So I'm like, well, the thing is we have a very good system. And like I said, we have a lot of listings. Our name is all over out there. We get very good compliments of people, clients. Sure. I even got a question yesterday. Are you a franchise? Can I buy your franchise? I want to buy your company to put it in Edinburgh. I'm like, we're not a franchise, sir. Like, I'm sorry. I own this thing. But we're very happy. And like I said, we have a very good team. And we cannot do it without them. I mean, they did all the work. They work every day for us, and they're always out there for us, and they take care of us. They love the company.
Right.
They love the culture, and I think that's the key of being successful. Going to work, it's like when you're home, you love your kids, you love your wife.
Yep.
Same thing here. They love the company. They love the culture, what we have, and they feel comfortable. And when they're comfortable and they feel good about themselves, they're going to do anything they can to get a deal for you, for the company, for themselves, too.
Yeah, because it's bigger than just them.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it in our organization all the time. I mean, you know, I spend as much or more time with the people I work with than I do with my family. I mean, in me, that I live in Austin and I travel all the time, I mean, yeah, dude, it's arguably that I do spend more time, right? And luckily, I have a tremendous support system at home. I mean, my wife is a rock star, and she holds it down, and she understands, right? She understands the big vision. Not to say she doesn't get frustrated, but she's my rock, right? But going to that, a couple of things as we start to wind it down. One, you've mentioned mentor to me a few different times, right, throughout this interview. And mentors are something that I take totally serious. Like, I firmly believe in mentors. I think part of success comes from having a minimum of 2 things other than drive. Yes. And one is a coach, and the other is a mentor. And I think they can be the same person, or they can be completely different people. And with me, you know, I'm actually going as far with this podcast thing. I'm starting a special series that I'm dedicating to my mentors. So I'm going to go back and I'm starting to interview all my mentors along my career. But my question for you regarding mentors is, you know, who was your earliest mentor that you can remember?
She was tough, man. She was tough.
Yeah.
She was like, wow, I love her. Doris Gobi. She retired like about 15 years, but I cannot say what she means to me. But as far as I don't know if I should say it here, but she had a very bad perspective of Mexicans.
Okay.
She had a different way of thinking, and I changed her mind of how it doesn't mean what your color or who you are. It's just a person.
Right.
She thought Mexicans were lazy for some reason. That we took our siesta at 6 p.m.
There you go. Under the tree with the burro.
So for me, to change, I just didn't learn from just her, but she learned from me that it didn't matter where you come from. It's just who the person was and their drive and what they wanted to do, their goals. So when I changed her mind about that, and she mentioned it, and it was the conversation before she retired, Mario, I just want to say I do apologize. I always had that perspective of you people, that you were this, and this. And she mentioned the word lazy. And she said, you changed everything about that.
Dude, that took a lot of character to actually stand up and say that, man.
And for me, that meant a lot. I mean, that meant a lot. And she said, you're one of the hardest persons I ever known. You were very hard, very loyal. And that's what she taught me a lot of things, man, like personal relationships with people. She had friends or customers, because we call them friends because that's what she implemented to me. You see, I from customers, I call them friends now.
Right.
She had friends or customers from 10, 15 years. She used to work in a program that she just got like years ago called Top Producer. That back then, that was the biggest thing. Yeah. And she's used to save every person's birthday, every person's what they did and what they did in their anniversaries and everything. Yeah. And she used to make me send all this mail every day, man, every day. She'll sign it. She'll put her thoughts to it. And that helped me understand that it's just not about the money.
Right.
It's about being out there and being their realtor for life,
there
basically.
You go.
And that's one of the things that she mentioned for me. You always want to be there. So if you send them a little card, always remind them that you're there for them. Why? Because eventually they're either going to move out, they're going to resell their home, buy something bigger, something smaller. You're going to be out there. Your name has to be out there. So she was one of the best I ever had. The other one that was very tough, and he has the same kind of background. He came from Mexico too. And he owns his own company right now, Ricardo Macias. Ricardo Macias, he's an excellent person. He's a well-spoken gentleman. And but, man, that guy was aggressive. And what I love about him, he had the drive. He worked early. He finished late. And he was always working, man. So, basically, those two people meant a lot to me. And those are the people I kind of follow all the time. Sure. And if I go into a slump, because this is like a roller coaster, real estate, I always think of the fundamentals. I think of them. I think of what they used to do to keep it going, to be consistent every month. And that's what you want to do as far as this business. You want to be consistent. Yeah. And that's what they taught me how to be.
That's awesome, man. That's because it's easy to stay motivated in the good times.
Yeah, man.
But man, when that train starts to slow down,
it happens.
It does. I mean, hey, everybody has the bad day, right? I've had them. I have plenty of them. To where it's just like, oh God, I'm just tired. I just want to go I want to go take a siesta underneath the tree with a burro.
No, man. So those people, like I said, they meant a lot to me. And they're hearing this. I mean, I love them, and all my respect to them. And like I said, now that's what I want to be for my team. Right. I want to be the role model so they can look into that. They always, yesterday actually, they were saying, Mario, this is what you do, and this is what I like. They analyze me so much that I'm surprised of the things they know about me. Yeah, Mario, you come early every day.
You're their mentor, man.
Yeah, and I feel like I have a big responsibility of doing the right thing.
How many people on your team? I don't know.
We're about 35 realtors. 35
realtors. Mm-hmm. So that's. I mean, and this is what I always carry with me, because I've got about the same head count right now on my team, and it's 35 families that,
yes,
I'm responsible for in one way or another.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And when it's good, great. When it's bad, okay. How am I gonna? How are we gonna make it better, right? Because I'm not gonna be able to do anything by myself. It's when the team comes together and rallies, right? Yeah. And I think it's cool how tuned into that concept you are. And I aside from the obvious faith aspect that I heard you mention earlier, it sounds like, just the team and the family aspect of it. It completely explains to me the reason for your success right now, and I tip my hat to you on that. So last question, what do you look for in a new agent? How do you, because I'm sure you're at a point now to where you get approached, right? You probably don't have to do as much like, hey, come work with us. Like, I'm sure you're getting people like, hey, how can I get on board? How do you go about choosing that person? Because it obviously sounds like you pour a lot of yourself into them, right? Like, you give them everything you got to help them succeed. But let's be real, not everybody really wants to succeed. So how do you differentiate that? Or do you just...
No, actually, to be honest, I give everybody a chance.
You do?
To be honest, I do. But I tell them three things. Number one, they have to fit in within our culture. So before we interview in the interview, I kind of tell them who we are and how we do things, right, and how people are. They're very helpful. It's very hard to find a group that if you're down, they'll pick you up, man. In real estate, because remember, we're all competitive.
Right.
At the same time, we're in the same company,
man,
but we have a competition.
That's
regardless.
Part of the juice.
Yes. But here, my team, when they compete, they still pick you up, man. Like, you have a question, if you're a top producer, don't ask me, don't talk to me,
right,
don't do that type of attitude. Here, man, everybody's willing to help out. And that's what I love. That's number one, that if you have that really negative attitude, you might not fit into our culture. Sure. We want to make sure that you have positive, that even though negative things happen, but you're positive. Number two, coachable. You need to learn. Sometimes we have our ways.
Right.
And we want to make sure that if I'm doing this and it's working, that I can teach you to do the right way. Right. That way you can be successful. And the third thing is trust. You need to trust me in what I'm doing with you. That way, because I have the best interest as you. You want to grow, I want you to grow. Because the more you grow, the better you do for our company, so for our team.
Well, I'm confident that the culture that you created inside of that team is part of also what draws a lot of people to you, I would assume, right?
I believe so, sir.
Yeah,
like you said at the beginning of the interview, we are those type of people that we are raza in a way for some people.
Yeah.
But we are that raza, but friendly and more low tone. Like, we're there to help out, available. Give us a call. We're there for you, man. Yeah. And it's like a family. To be honest, it's like if you... A lot of my clients, that's what, Mario, it's like they talk to me like if I was their cousin or whatever, uncle, whatever. Right. They call me and they're like, and I feel good about those. Because I'm going to tell you, Nancy has one of our clients here that we're working with. We're very approachable. And I will never tell you a no. I always say, you know what, let me find out for you. We have a deal right now about a fence in a new construction home.
Right.
And he said that, I wanted that fence. I thought the builder was going to build it. So I said, you know what? I could have just said no because it was not part of our contract.
Right.
So I said, you know what? Let me check with the builder, man. Let me find out and let me call back. So the builder said no, but we can do half of the fence. Cost, cover the half, and he's very happy. Why? Because like I told him in the beginning, there was no fence since the beginning. But then he still wanted one. I said, you know what, let me find out. So I kind of pushed the builder. The builder said, you know what, Mario, you're bringing clients to me. Let me help them out so you can look good too. Let's do half of the cost on that fence. And I said, okay, great. And I called the client. He's like, well, at least he's doing half, man. I'm very happy. Let's do it. So now we have, Nancy and myself have a very happy client right now, and he's very happy with the process the movement is doing, everything that they've been doing. So I'm very happy with the service you're also giving me, because you're also part of my team. Yeah. So it's not just realtors. So you have to have a good team in your mortgage team. You also have your inspectors. You have to have those type of people to help you grow.
Sure.
Because it's not just real estate. Everybody works together, and you always gotta find those people that have the same ideas and have same goals to grow. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I found out with movement with Nancy.
We're like the best kept secret in the valley, I think. I gotta be honest, because I knew about you long before you knew about us.
Oh wow!
You know what I mean? Like I'd been hearing your name, but I mean she was already at a point to where she had plenty coming in to where she didn't have time to go out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so watching her grow so much organically just by providing the service levels and hitting it, like just to give you an idea, you know, I'm sure she's talked to you about that 7-day process thing.
Yes, sir. That's
okay. Right. Last month, her office, 100% of the files were processed in 7 business days. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Our company average is only like 80%. She nailed 100%.
Wow.
And it's she's very humble, but you know she's like, yeah, we did it, you know, and it was like, yeah, we did. That's right, your team. You know, she understands that concept of team. I mean, she's got a phenomenal backing behind her. Right?
Rachel's great, man. Rachel and her team is super good,
dude, and that woman will keep you in line, brother.
Yes,
in a good way.
Yeah, right? Yeah, definitely.
So, but no, man, we're just so happy to be working with you guys, to actually have a chance to bring some service to you and to hopefully grow. So thank you for the opportunity. I mean, obviously.
No, thank you for letting me share my story, man.
Oh no, dude, and I absolutely thank you for taking time to sit in the chair. I know you were a little worried coming into it, man.
I still am, man. I still am.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're already at 46 minutes.
Oh wow, it's easy talking to you, man. You make it so easy.
See?
Yes, sir.
That's why they keep me around. It's not because I know what I'm doing. It's because I'm easy to talk to.
Yes, sir. You do. I mean, it's very easy, man. You're phenomenal.
Well, I appreciate that, man. But dude, I thank you for coming in and sitting in the chair. Obviously, I mean, you're gonna be welcome back for any episodes you want to do. You know, you've got an open ticket. So
thank you, sir.
You know, there's a few people like you that I've kind of interviewed that it's like, okay, if you have a specific topic you want to talk about, dude, bring it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man.
All right. Well, with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. Thank you to Mr. Mario Baez from BorderPlex Realty. How do they find you, man? Somebody's listening to this, and maybe a new realtor is like, dude, I need to get over there. Or maybe it's a client that's like, hey, I need to buy a house. How do they find you? Okay.
You can either text me or call me, 956. No, sir? Okay.
Cell phone numbers.
Well, you can go online. We have our website, www.bplexhomes.com.
Okay.
We also have, if you want to be a new real estate agent, you can go to mario.joinexp.com.
Okay.
And see all the videos, everything we have to offer you as an agent. And like I said, we're here to help everybody and help our community grow. And like I said, I'm very proud of living here in the Valley. Mm-hmm. And I love my people. And like I said, man, hopefully in the next couple of years, we can come in back again with you and have more stories to tell.
Okay, couple of years, bro. I'm talking like in
a couple months. Oh, okay, ya dijo.
Like a couple of years. Yes. Nah, but dude, thank you again for taking time to sit in the chair, man. Make sure you guys reach out to Mario. Show him some love for actually having enough confidence to sit down and do this, because he was extremely nervous. And with that, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, give me a like, give me a share, leave me some feedback. Let me know what we're doing right. Also, just stay social, everybody, man. Have a great day, all right? Talk to y'all soon.